killed at the border, is left naked. Camp Shefflin, that has come up in the testimony, and the spelling is in the records here. Camp Shefflin, a military barracks just outside Monrovia on the Robertsville Highway, is where you have one of the strongest battalion. It was the 1st Battalion of the Armed Forces of Liberia, loyal to Doe, commanded by a Crown officer, and most of the people there are the Doe loyalists. Camp Shefflin has not surrendered to the new government. They forget about Shefflin. Secondly, Kuongba assumes that men have gone to the executive mansion. Doe is still at the executive mansion. Nothing happens to him. So eventually, the soldiers from Camp Shefflin move into Monrovia with massive force. The Kuongba people scatter. Kuongba is sought, he is captured, he is killed, he is eaten by the Crown soldiers, and that is on the records, all over the records to that. And then the revenge mode sets in.
We'll come to the revenge mode a little later, but I'd like us to just pause for a moment and deal with a couple of spellings. Firstly, James Butty, B-U-T-T-Y. I'll have to wait for the others. But in any event, you'd mentioned that you yourself has left Liberia. Before we have the short adjournment, I wonder if you could assist us with this. Why did you leave Liberia?
I left Liberia when General Thomas Kuongba said that he could not order the armed forces to move in because it would involve bloodshed, because he was sure that a certain segment of the armed forces that Doe had loyal to him, especially the Crown and other groups, would resist. There would be bloodshed. He did not want it. I knew that things would get bad after Doe returned from Europe, where he was visiting, and so I left out of fear.
Mr. Taylor, help us. Did you have any other difficulties at that time in terms of your role as head of the GSA?
None whatsoever. Had no difficulties up to that point, because when I left Liberia, I was now Deputy Minister of Commerce. I was not at the GSA when I left.
Before you left the GSA, had there been any questions asked about the propriety of your dealings in that role?
Oh, that is correct, yes. The new guy, Clarence Mamalu, that moves into the GSA, begins what he calls a massive investigation as to what had occurred at the General Services Administration.
Yes. And what was the outcome of that?
Well, I really don't know the full outcome, because up until the time I left Liberia, he was still investigating. But what had arisen at the time, he was concerned about funds that had been paid 8 months before his arrival at the GSA for equipment for the government of Liberia that had not arrived.
Now help us. How many such allegations were made about you and your role as head of the GSA?
Well, as far as I know, the allegations came from Clarence Mamalu.
How many of them?
I know mainly of one for the payment of $900,000 to a firm in the United States.
And put in simple terms, what was being suggested about you?
Oh, he was trying to suggest that I had personally embezzled money.
How much?
$900,000.
Had you done that?
No, I had not.
when you left the Liberia, were those investigations still ongoing?
They were still ongoing.
Did that investigation have anything to do with your flight?
No, not at all, not at all. The payment in question had been made 8 months before I fled. No. It was very clear that had it not been for this military operation that Kurumpa failed on, and I'm using the word failed, I would have not probably left Liberia at that time, because quite frankly, I was sure that I would have been made Minister of Commerce. And the investigation would have been carried out, and they would have found out that all of the proper procedures had been used. And what do I mean by proper procedure? Orders were placed by the GSA. Payments were made through the Central Bank of Liberia. The vendor had received the money 8 months before this particular situation. So if there were any questions that would have been answered, it would have been by the vendor who had not denied that he had received the money. So I had no problems with that.
Well, help us with this then, Mr. Taylor. If, as you're telling these judges, you were not guilty of any wrongdoing, what do you say was the motivation behind those allegations?
I know that Clarence Mamalu wanted to destroy me, and some of the other guys wanted to, but they would not have succeeded. It was purely to destroy Charles Taylor.
Why would they want to destroy Charles Taylor?
But don't let's forget that we're in this mood of what? This Congo man that is doing very well, who is so respected and loved by a lot of members of the council, we need to break Taylor. And that's what they wanted to do.
And was this being done with or without Doe's approval?
Quite frankly, I cannot say with any degree of certainty that this was done with Doe's approval. To be very fair to this gentleman, look, I know Samuel Doe. These allegations, if Doe was behind the allegations when they first came out, number one, he would have dismissed me from the GSA instantly. I believe that there were other individuals moving in there, because having been president myself, when the president is really behind something, really behind something, I mean, you would almost know. I mean, I don't think Doe easily could have said, oh, there are allegations, you are dismissed, and you will remain out of office until you answer to these allegations. But he did not even comment on it. The executive mansion did not do any releases on it. And so I would say that this was not of Doe's doing, no.
I'd like you to hold that thought, because I note the time, and I'm going on to another aspect of this, Mr. President.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Grievous. We'll take the short adjournment now and reconvene at 12 o'clock.
All rise.
You use it for election or do you eat it? Again, you fight finance minister, you can know everything about the state. You're a member of the National Security Council. That's kind of important state secrets. I can tell you, President Waka, right now, can tell you, if I open my mouth here, but I will not put some songs of secret things.
It's a pleasant way to say good morning, and welcome to your Info Breakfast Companion, The Positive Show. We are privileged this morning to sit between twists and turn to bring you this Thursday's edition of The Positive Show. All thanks and appreciation to the Almighty who spared our life to be here. And we are counted amongst the living, not because of our handsomeness, it's not because of your beauty, your technical know-how, it's by His grace. That's what I always say, there's no mate in grace. So we're here this morning to talk about a lot of things. So as usual, we bring you the flight surges from the Roberts International Airport. The prices on the issue of gas and that of fuel on the Liberian market. The weather forecast. The vehicular traffic movement and security alerts. Health tips. A lot more, all packaged here, as I'm pretty seated up to 10 o'clock this morning. And just to let you know, our many followers, we've done a schedule in our timing on the program between my colleague and I. So basically, Viney Duclay will be with you during the afternoon hours on the afternoon conversation. While I sit here in the morning to engage those national issues, we are clothed with the responsibility as journalists to provide a level playing field of information uncensored that trickles your decision making. My name is Rufus Divine Cannon. I'm pretty seated this morning, so energized to talk about national issues. I know you're out there. Some are worried about the situation they are faced with, but I want to encourage you. All is not lost. Muster courage. Trust and believe that God is able. God is able to do what He says He will do. He's going to fulfill every promise to you. Don't give up on God, because He won't give up on you. He's able. And let me make you to understand, the snake in the grass is less dangerous than the envy of a friend's heart. The snake in the grass is less dangerous than the envy of a friend's heart. A food for thought this morning. And I want you to also know the enemies don't go after emptiness, they go after potential. So be wise. Watch your cycle and put God first in all you do. So advice of our team, followed by commercial commitment. When we come back, we touch bases on those issues. We mention segments. We mention. So be there. Call a friend to tell a friend that indeed today is October 2, 2025. Welcome to The Positive Show. We are the beacon of hope, the fountain of beautiful broadcasting for this dispensation and dispensations to come.
Yellow Star.
Mozorado, your son here, yeah. MTN Yellow Star Season 5 calling you. October 4th at the Library Learning Center, Congo Town, sharp 8 a.m. You long been dreaming about seeing yourself on a big stage. None at the time to do it. From dreamers to doers. Like, yeah, they can make all the big stars in here. One lucky winner will get $2 million librarian record due. One brand new car. 300,000 librarian check for you to buy fresh swag and 100 gig data every month for 1 year. MTN also say they will give great presents to the second and the third winner. Me and say, let me check out for your own.
Yellow Star.
MTN.
Yellow Star.
I said, Liberia, wake up. The big moment is here. MTN Yellow Star now show face. For years, you have dreamed of shining in the spotlight. The time now come to make that sweet dream real. I said, this season will take you from dreamers to doers. Online audition is open until September 19. You can submit your audition for anywhere because your dream deserves to be heard loud and clear. And like at the beginning, we are coming live to your county. Buchanan, September 20 at City Hall Ground, 8 a.m. Nimba, September 22nd at Jackie's Guest House, 8 a.m. Bonkade Tap In, we are all one people. In Monserrato, October 4th at the Library Learning Center, Painesville Town Hall, 8 a.m. 20 contestants will take the bold step and forget dreaming and start doing. Through vocal training, master classes, studio sessions, and electrifying live shows. One winner will walk away with big hell about $2 million librarian record due, a brand new car, 300,000 LD for your wardrobe to get fresh again, and 100 gigabyte data every month for 1 year. Amazing present bucket waste for our second and third place winners. MTN Yellow Star Season 5, from dreamers to doers.
Yellow Star. Momo na we say again. They all want your mole G's.
My people, I get good news, so enjoy the lowest cash out fees in Liberia with MTN mobile money. Only 2% fee will be charged on any transaction, whether big or small. Cash out today for just small money from any of our 25,000 agents across Liberia. No con will grow on your feet for your own money business. MTN Momo makes it easy, fast, and secure just for you. Dial *156# or download the MTN Momo app today to cash out with MTN Momo for just 2% fees. Fast, easy, and and secure.
Momona we say king. They all want your mullet cheese.
MTN.
After the commercial commitment, we are back to give you the various segments we mentioned earlier on in our intro. So we begin with the Central Bank of Liberia exchange rates. So beginning with the buying rates, Central Bank of Liberia is reporting 180.72 while for the buying rates, while the selling rate is 182.73. So that does it for the exchange rate on the Liberian market. We want to move for the weather forecasts from the BBC. The BBC is reporting this morning 77 degrees Celsius. It feels 81. Cloudy. It's going to be cloudy. Precipitation is 20%. Humidity is 89%, while the wind is blowing 3 meters per hour. So it's quite interesting this morning. So let us get up to do what we are called to do this morning. You know, it's going to be wonderful. It's a wonderful day. Today's Tuesday, and we are not Tuesday, but Thursday rather. And we are grateful to be counted amongst the living. So brace yourself from the hodls and engage into positivity. So today, the gasoline price on the pump, basically gasoline is sold for 805 Liberian dollars, while we have fuel oil sold for 865 Liberian dollars. So we wrap up on that note and bring you the flight schedules from the Roberts International Airport. The Roberts International Airport is next with the flight schedules, and many thanks to Flight Trader 24 for providing us update as it relates to the flight schedules there at our only international airport, the Roberts International Airport. So if you are expecting your guests or your relative, friends, or loved ones, we are grateful as always to bring out to you this segment to enlighten your mind that indeed at this time the person will be in the country. Basically, if you know the flight they are coming with. All right. So this morning we don't have much of the flights coming to Liberia this morning. So we begin with our first flight here is the Ethiopian Airlines. Ethiopian Airlines, flight ET942. We arrive at the Roberts International Airport at 11:05 this morning from Addis Ababa. So let me get that's departure. Okay, let's get it. Never mind. I'll go for arrivals. This morning we say Ethiopian Airlines, we arrive at the Roberts International Airport at 10:05 this morning from Freetown, Sierra Leone. And the flight is ET942. What's going on? ET942 will definitely arrive at the Roberts International Airport this morning at 10:05. Our next flight here is Air Peace. Air Peace, flight P47536, flight P47536 from Accra, Ghana. We arrive at the Roberts International Airport at 5:35 this evening. And lastly, for arrivals at the Roberts International Airport, we have Kenyan Airways. Kenyan Airways, flight KQ508 from Accra, Ghana. We arrive at the Roberts International Airport at 5:40. So we move now to departures from the Roberts International Airport. So we go back. Departures from the Roberts International Airport, beginning with Ethiopian Airlines, flight ET942, will depart the Roberts International Airport at 11:05 this morning for Addis Ababa. And Air Peace flight P47537 for will depart the Rabat International Airport at 6:15 this evening for Accra, Ghana. And lastly, for departures from the Rabat International Airport, we have Kenyan Airlines flight KQ509 will depart the Rabat International Airport at 6:40 this evening for Accra, Ghana. So that does it for the flight schedules. Thanks to Flight Trader 24 for providing us updates as always. So this morning, our health tip, we always encourage you. This is one of our routines. We encourage you to always take in water, drink enough water. Water is very essential for the body. It is important that you drink water. Drink water. Drink, my people. Drink water. It's very, very, very important for you and your health. The more you drink water, it puts you at a better healthy end. All right. When you drink water, it's just like you encouraging, your child. Every time you're coming from work, you're bringing candy and the biscuit and all the kind of stuff for the child. The child will be happy. So that's how the kidney and liver and all of the organs in the body gets so happy when you gave them water frequently. Yes. So we say to you, avoid the intake of this energy drink of a thing. Avoid it. You are not getting energy. You are not gaining energy, but you are causing a serious harm to your health. Yes, we are saying it with our stuttering. We are saying it with pride and dignity that you are causing more harm to yourselves than good. So avoid the intake of these kinds of energy drink you got on the market. It is not healthy for you. It's caffeine prone. And if you want to put it to a test, just get a bottle, one of your favorite energy drinks. Get a raw meat, place it in a bowl, and then you pour your favorite energy drink on it and see the reaction. Then you understand what I'm talking about. So avoid that. Always exercise. It's good that you exercise. You may not have the time to go jogging from one point of the road to the other, but you can even do that you do the stationary jump, do the stationary walk, and right within your bedroom before leaving your home. Or you just lie right on the bed and you stretch your legs, lie on your stomach, and twist and turn your leg in and out. Do it like 50 times or 20 times or whatever you can. You start with 10 or 20 first, and afterwards you turn around, lay on your back, do the same, twist and turn in and out, both legs in and out. Then you take one of the leg, place it on the other one, and twist left, right, like that. What it does is that it releases the body, it refreshes the muscles, and puts you in a better mood. It is equated to an 8-hour sleep. Yes, it is equated to an 8-hour sleep. So when you go about doing it, you will get to appreciate the recommendation we continue to make to you every morning when we are seated here to talk about these things that matters to our health. All right. Fast forward. We want to encourage you to get a part of your diet, fruits. Get the oranges, you get the avocado, you get the carrot, the cabbage. These are all good things for your health. Garlic. Garlic is also important. And for those of you who are battling these cancerous cells, some people don't know that they have some cancerous cells or all kind of thing, but it's good when you should engage this the eating of cabbage. Cabbage is very, very much important. Eat cabbage. Get a board of cabbage, slice it, and put your tomatoes, the raw tomatoes, slice it, get a cucumber. Yeah, you make your little salad. You don't necessarily have to be every day before you go to bed you eat oily food. And no, get a salad, fix your cabbage salad, vegetable and all that kind of stuff. You eat it and go to bed. Avoid eating oily food before bedtime. When you eat oily food and go to bed, what happens? When you wake up in the morning, you feel that dizziness, you feel that heaviness. It all boils down to you getting the organs not to perform their duty adequately. Yes, some of you don't know. You eat oily food, you go to bed. Now, the oil, it has calories and all that kind of stuff. So you not have the body goes to bed. It goes at rest when you are sleeping. So you have three organs, major organs, working 24/7. Your heart, your liver, and your kidney. They break down all of the components of food and things, and you put in your system and then distribute and send the waste to the area that it should go and all the things. So when you eat oily food, you're going to get the kidney and the liver hard time to break down all of the components because, mind you, your body is not in motion to burn the calories. That's why most of you wake up and, you feel so dizzy, you beat up. You screen the kidney and the liver to break down the components. Most especially you eating oily food. Oh, you're frying my egg, man. No. Therefore, you can eat boiled egg. The boiled egg would be good. You're frying my plantain. No, they shouldn't fry the plantain. Let them boil the plantain and just eat it without oil. It's very important. And you must make this a normal routine for you. Where before you go to bed, at least you get cucumber. You eat a cucumber. It helps your digestive system. Yes, cucumber is very good. Get it. It will help you. And more to that, if you can also get ginger tea, make it a part of your daily routine. Before you go to bed, if you can get a cup of a ginger tea or a lime tea, it's very important. Yes, take it in. Don't drink cold water before you go to bed. Drink something, warm. You can drink a warm room temperature water. It's very important. And most of us, we find ourselves doing this, but since we came across this teaching and we learned it, so we want to also pass on the message. That's why we as journalists, we are clothed with the responsibility to educate, entertain, and inform. So this is the educative aspect of our duty. So to caution you, do not, while you are eating oily food, do not drink cold water. Avoid the consumption of cold water while eating oily food. Yeah. Avoid the consumption of cold water while eating oily food. It's not healthy for you. Get a room temperature. Get a room temperature water and drink while you are eating your oily food. During the daytime, until in the evening, you must go eat all food. No. And for those of you who are pressure patient, avoid too much of salt and, avoid the intake of salt. Is that healthy for you? Yes. And you need to relax. Yes. Have a time to rest. If you can take up the time to leave home, you go send the children who will keep disturbing you. Just go to one of these guest houses or a hotel, cut the phone off, and just get a bed rest. Yes, get a bed rest. It's going to be very healthy for you. Please, your health is your wealth. With that being said, we'll move down to our security alerts. We want to encourage everybody, especially we have relied on this wire, they call the Zoco wire, right? You got it at your home, you put it to your window, you say, oh yeah, the guys have created another means breaking through the Zogo wire. Notice today, it is not 100% secure any longer. The guys have created a strategy to break through that Zogo wire. So it's not safe like it used to, because the criminals are fast moving. Every day they're expanding their knowledge in breaking through. They use the jack. And you know the car jack? Yeah, men can use it to pull the window apart. And mind you, they are also passing around with acid water. They will be doing it small. Before you mirror your mind, it's soaking out your wall. The time they want to carry on the operation, but then the wall already soaked. You just shake it, bam, window bam, move to enter. So these are all things that we want to bring to your attention. And those of you who are applying the Vera highways, you're going home in the evening, be very mindful. I see a lot of females, and they get afraid when they see social male in the car or in the keke. Know that the females are more engaging into the criminal acts nowadays as equivalent to the male. The females are engaging mostly in the criminal acts alongside the male. So only God, because the Bible rightly told us, except the Lord build, the builder that buildeth, build in vain. Except the Lord watch, the watchman that watcheth, watch in vain. So when you are going out, commit your going out, because you don't know who you come in contact with. And always know that no one to be trusted, because even friends now are enemies. That's what I told you. The snake in the grass. The snake in the grass is less dangerous than a friend who has envy. Know this today. It's a food for thought. So when you are riding a keke, you find yourself at the edge or the door side, please avoid exposing your valuables. Yes, your bags. Some of you got jewelries, your phones, and all the kind of thing. Make sure to position yourself well, because mind you, most especially in the corridors where you have motorcycles moving, the guys are now on the rampage. They are engaging seriously into the jacking issue again. So you got to be very sensitive. Walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. Because redeeming the time, the days are what? Evil. So with that being said, we want to say to our officers, thank you so kindly for the job that you do. And specifically, we're going to spend more time on, it's one of our major talking points this morning. We're going to talk about the welfare of our officers. We're going to look deeply into the citizens' engagement with the officers. And we have other highlights to bring to you. Some prospects of government engagement with our international partners and so forth. But this morning, the vehicular traffic movement we are seeing on the Tottenham Boulevard, the overhead or the overpass construction is taking shape gradually. The guys are placing their peg along the road now. Sooner or later, those of us who are living along that route, we start to engage into the traffic congestion, serious traffic congestion. Yes. So we need to brace ourselves. We need to brace ourselves. So if you are a sleeper and you know very well you need to be to work at 7:30 or at 8 o'clock at most, make sure to start engaging now. Waking up at 4 o'clock, prepare yourself. 4:35, you're already on the road. 6 o'clock, you're already on your way to break through the congestion of the traffic. Anything other than 6:30, when that process begins, you will have yourself to be blamed because you'll be marked absent at your office. Some of you students, you will miss school sessions. So to avoid all of those things, start to practice now. Waking up early. So those of you along the Roberts Fee Highway, you wanted to come as far as Central Town, please, we want to say this to the drivers. Make sure that you adhere to all of the signs that you see along the route, the traffic signs. These signs are not there for bluffing. They are indicators. So let's take, for instance, you see the dotted lines on the quota. Those dotted lines indicate that when you are driving in a particular area, in as much you can see ahead of you, you can make what we call overtake. In as much you can see ahead of you, that means you can overtake, right? But when you see while driving, especially on the highway, while driving, and you see the non-dotted line, that straight line, it is not dotted. That means you are, if you want to overtake, you are doing that at your own risk. And when you are doing that, you must be able also to see ahead of you. So that line guides you to be very steady and not to be swaying from one lane to the other. When you see the dotted line, in as much you can see ahead of you, you can sway from one lane to the other. But when the line is not dotted, it tells you that you shouldn't, most especially when you see yourself engaging the curve. The sign will be there. The sign is up on the along the shoulder of the road. If not the shoulder of the road, you will see the line curving. Make sure to adhere to these basic signs. Some of you, we know you did not go to driving school, but it is very important. You have smartphones. Make sure you get your smartphone, go on YouTube. All of the things you want to learn nowadays is right on the internet. Go on YouTube and ask for the various traffic signs. YouTube will bring it to you. They will show you the meaning of those signs to avoid you getting into accident. And, you know, it will guide you in your speed limit and all those things. Please do not overtake in the curve. A lot of drivers, most especially some of you who are on the highways, you are fond of that habit. Avoid the curve overtaking. And what is so troubling here is that some of you, you will see these heavy-duty trucks, the container trucks. You want to overtake in the curve. It is not healthy. You're putting lives and properties at risk. So we want to say to you in a clearer term, know these signs, adhere to them. When you are told to drive 15 kilometers per hour, please, in that corridor, adhere to it. It is because the people who place those things there, they know the velocity, they know the width, or most especially when you're engaged in a curvy area. So you need to limit your speed so that you be able to access that place adequately without causing harm or leaving your lane to get in the middle or the other lane before you can control your movement. Just in that time, you don't know as to whether another vehicle is coming speeding as well. That way we have a lot of collision all along the way. So please, drivers, and we say to you, that place is your office. Make sure to be tardy. Let's be the simple Liberian way. Take bar, put on decent clothes. That's the cheapest thing now in the country, clothes. You can get clothes for $50, Liberty, $25, Bob. You can change that shirt. You can sleep in the clothes and remain in that same clothes and get in the traffic. No. Take your little shower, get your little roll on, spray it very cheap, smell good. Some of you, you have this kind of bar odor. Then you all over people, most especially you, the car boy conductor. Then you need to avoid all these things so that at least people can be comfortable when they are riding with you. You driver, taxi driver, make sure to have in your vehicle a trash can so that when people get trash, they can just place it in that can. When you reach the destination, you go and place it in the dustbin, and you begin your movement again. But we see people seated in the vehicle and they eat the biscuit, they throw the dye right in the street. Banana, whatever, they throw it right in the street. That shouldn't be so. All right? So while it is raining cats and dogs these few days, it have been raining, we see flooding situation. Our friends in the Bushra Island area have been challenged. Even in the Painesville area, there have been serious challenges as it relates to the flooding. We want to say to all of you, please let us avoid clogging the drainages. We ourselves are contributors to the harms that we are experiencing during the flooding situation. You will go and build right in the waterways. Some of you, you will take the dirt from your homes, you place it right in the drainage. We see that. Go along the Painesville area. It's happening. And you entrust these disadvantaged youth so much with your garbage. They take those things from your homes and just place it right on the road. Sometimes they take these garbages and just place it in the drainage. Go along the Painesville area there. The Gardnersville, the Japanese freeway there. You'll see a lot in the drainage. The EPA, you need to put into place some mechanism. These institutions, water institutions, need to be paying some fines because the streets so flooded nowadays with all these plastic, the sachets, and other kind of stuff. We must have some system put in place because it's all over the place. There should be some institution that are doing recycling. Yeah, let us get that. Recycle all of these stuff and produce something different with them. When it rains, take upon your time and drive towards the Painesville ERW areas. Right where they have that store, around the car wash there, you see the amount of plastic materials the bottles, the sachets, all those kinds of things just floating over the water. So drivers, please, when you are asked by the officers to actually give your lesson, please abide by it. There are rules and regulations that governs the traffic. Though you may feel that you are not in error, that you'll be pulled over by the officer, but we want to encourage you to abide by the law. You know, that's why we continue to emphasize that the head of the police, we want our officers to be fully identified. Any officer that is not fully identified, and how do we identify not just ID card, but the badges? So just look on our officer, his badge number is there. And you can take your complaint to the professional standards. And that will be addressed. Instead of you getting into a face fight and engaging officers in an unorthodox way. All right? So this morning, we are going to take up the time after our second commercial break to talk deeply into our own exchanges with the officers and our roles and responsibilities as citizens, and the value we need to add to our security sector as well. So we'll go for our commercial commitment this morning. When we come back, we will also provide some updates regarding some developmental agendas and some prospects so far. We will also visit the judiciary and bring you some information from there. And then fast forward, we engage with our major talking point this morning that has to do with the welfare of our security officers. Why it is true that the death of fallen security officer Bracewell have claimed the attention of all of the security apparatus in the country. There are still more to do in terms of the safety of these gallant men and women, both in arm or out of arm, but standing in the line of duty to serve the country adequately. So commercial commitment is next on this broadcast. This is the Positive Show. My name is Rufus Divine Cannon. I'm pretty seated. Let's get our commercial commitment to be right back.
Yellow Star.
Mozorado, your son, yeah. MTN Yellow Star is in fact calling you. October 4th at the Liberian Learning Center, Congo Town, sharp 8 a.m. You long been dreaming about seeing yourself on a big stage. Nana at the time to do it. From dreamers to do it. Like, yeah, they can make all the big stars in here. One lucky winner will get $2 million Liberian record due. One brand new car. 300,000 Liberian check for you to buy fresh swag and 100 gigs data every month for 1 year. MTN also say they will give great presents to the second and the third winner. Me and say, let me check out for your own.
Yellow Star.
MTN.
Yellow Star.
I said, Liberia, wake up. The big moment is here. MTN Yellow Star now show face. For years, you have dreamed of shining in the spotlight. The time now come to make that sweet dream real. I say, this season will take you from dreamers to doers. Online audition is moving until September 19. You can submit your audition for anywhere because your dream deserves to be heard loud and clear. And like at the beginning, we are coming live to your county. Buchanan, September 20 at City Hall Ground, 8 a.m. Nimba, September 22nd at Jackie's Guest House, 8 a.m. Don't count the tap in. We are all one people. In Monserrato, October 4th at the Liberian Learning Center, Painesville Town Hall, 8 a.m. 20 contestants will take the bold step and forget dreaming and start doing through focus training, master classes, studio sessions, and electrifying live shows. One winner will walk away with big hell about $2 million Liberian record due, a brand new car, 300,000 LD for your wardrobe to get fresh again, and 100 gigabyte data every month for 1 year. Amazing prize and bucket waste for our second and third place winners. MTN Yellow Star Season 5 from Dreamers to Doers.
Yellow, yellow star. Momo na we say king. They all want your mole cheese.
My people, I get good news, so enjoy the lowest cash out fees in Liberia with MTN Mobile Money. Only 2% fee will be charged on any transaction, whether big or small. Cash out today for just small man from any of our 25,000 agents across Liberia. No call will grow on your feet for your own money business. MTN Momo makes it easy, fast, and secure just for you. Dial *156# or download the MTN Momo app today to cash out with MTN Momo for just 2% fees. Fast, easy, and secure.
Momo na we say king. They all want your mole cheese.
MTN.
King original. King original. And then they see me Momo we say what's
Hey, attention! All Lone Star Show MTN subscribers. Listen, Liberia's biggest promotion, Momo Wednesday Wasa, is back. And this time, we are flying you straight to Dubai. Just dial *156# and do any mobile money transaction. Send money, buy airtime or data, pay bills, cash out, take loan, and stand a chance to win amazing prizes, baby. We're talking about prizes. You stay there making fun, and then win prizes like cash, bags of rice, TVs, motorbikes, keke, generator, microwave, ice box, and more. And for the grand prize, 12 lucky winners will enjoy an all-expense paid trip to Dubai. Yes, plane ticket, pocket change, hotel, jolly, oh, everything covered, baby. Every transaction earns you points you can use to get enough minutes to call or data and automatically enters you into the weekly job, baby girl. So, what are you waiting for? Get your passport ready. It's Momo Wednesday was a Dubai edition, baby. Dial *156# now and start transacting. You know I get tempo. The more you momo, the closer you are to Dubai. I can't wait to see myself in Dubai, in Jamaica, baby. But remember, terms and conditions apply.
Momo carry 12% to Dubai. What you waiting for to use a mobile?
MTN.
Your attention, please. Please do not smoke in the terminal.
Shake it, wake up.
No, Chua, man. People are going to Dubai to chill. You can't spoil a dream by.
Dubai? What's in carry you there? Payload or passport?
One day, I'll run Iron Boy, claim the world, tallest berry, and live left back.
You think sleep will carry you Dubai? Luck it for you, I bring good news. Momo Wese WhatsApp 5 is back, and this year is Dubai edition. Just dial *156# and do any Momo transaction, send money, buy data, pay bills, and stand a chance to win an all-expense paid trip to Dubai.
4 package?
Yes, so flight, pocket change, jolly, all cover. 12 people going. Every transaction earns you points. More points, more chances.
My Dubai dream is loading over. I will get more everything right now.
Dream big with Momo Wese Wasa. Dubai edition, baby. Recharge, pay, or send with Momo and stand a chance to win amazing prizes every week. And an all-expense paid trip to Dubai as the grand prize. Dial *156# now to transact and win. But listen, terms and conditions apply. Dubai, in Jamaica,
MTN.
Okay, after the commercial commitment, we are back and to highlight some of the busy things, You know, that's what I always say to my friends. I always say to people, regardless of your hate, regardless of your political affiliation, you as a journalist, or we as journalists, we must be able to be very balanced in our reportage. You know, it is important that we note that the public, we hold the public trust. And if we hold the public trust, we must be able to adequately perform to the task. Yes, we must be able to perform adequately to the task given us. That's why we are referred to as the fourth estate. In so doing, it is not only about the bad image, about the country or the government we should be flagging. There are a lot of good things that are also happening that you as an individual, not just you being a journalist, but you are also a citizen, regardless of your affiliation, you need to flag as well. It is important to also know that in as much we tend to flag the things that are happening in the country wrongly, we must also highlight the positives. That's why I always say, amidst the challenges, there are prospects and gains. So we look at the prospects and gains, and we also frown at the wrong things that are done and flag out those who are involved. Like that, you are performing your task as a responsible journalist. Just a few days ago, we were out there celebrating 61st anniversary of the Press Union of Liberia. And it was overwhelming, and the exchange, between colleagues, people you haven't seen for quite a long time. We were able to meet them, people who you listen to, but haven't had the opportunity to engage them on some of the things that they are engaged with. All these things happened, on that day, and it was wonderful. But quite frankly, this is about time, before we go to the meat of the issue, this is about time that the Press Union of Liberia get busy so that this noble profession of ours cannot be seen as a tool for folks to use to destabilize the hard-earned efforts of citizens who are conscious-minded and have that positive mindset to the nation's growth and development. Our medium should not be used for the worse. Yes. So the Press Union of Liberia, let me say to the president, Julius, you are doing extremely well, and we must appreciate your efforts. But in so doing, more is needed to be done in as much we are looking towards infrastructure development and all those stuff. We also need those who are in the space to operate responsibly. Those who are in the space should engage responsibly, and not just to be a tool to cause chaos, to misinform the public, and at the end of the day, for the personal gains. It is not important for us to sit there and allow these things to slide under the carpet. But then when those people whose names are brought to public reliquary take these individuals to the law, then we shield them by stating that indeed, and the media is under attack. No. Why it is true that some folks get engaged with some issues, but yet and still, we ourselves, we need to be responsible in our exchanges. You being a journalist doesn't negate the fact that you are above the law, that you cannot abide by the laws or rules that governs a particular setting. Being a journalist, the first thing that comes to mind, you are responsible in your utterances. You must be responsible in your dealings. But nowadays is the other way around. So as a responsible journalist, you must exhibit at all times that responsibility. That's why in our creed, it says what you won't write as a gentleman, you shouldn't as a journalist. And vice versa, what you won't say as a gentleman, do not say it as a journalist. So this morning, I want to call the attention of the head of the security sector. Why it is true, we begin with the LDA this morning. We saw a boost from the government end, 15 pickers plus, and logistically wise, you guys, you are getting there. But what is interesting here is that it's not about logistics. It's about the human resource. You may have all of the vehicles, you may have all of the fleet of vehicles, all of the equipment. But the people who are there to operate these things, when they are not adequately, engaged in the sense where the needs and the livelihood are met, what's going to happen? The vehicles or the equipment you provide will just be a waste. And especially to the LDA, while you are engaging into a very serious situation in our country, we want to commend the acting leadership and the Corps of Officers who are in discharge of this duty. With commitment, you are engaging the prospect, the situation at hand. And there are a lot of revelations you've come up with. You have unveiled a lot of secrets of the cartel. But what is more important here is the livelihood of these officers. These officers are family people. Their families depend on them for survival. You cannot have an officer who stand in the line of duty and to a point where one may term as a lucrative area where you see living money in a simple Liberian parlance. You see living money because of love for country and what you sign up for, you report it and you apprehend the dealer. It takes the grace of God. This man cannot be making $150. He has rent to pay. He has school fees. He has the daily needs of his family. And he comes across somebody who is bringing a high, substance in the country And look at him and say, "Oh man, I will give you TDG, I'll give you this, I will give," even telling him that you gave him 500. It takes the grace of God for that man to let go of that. That's why we say the fight against drug in this country is not a single-handed thing. It's a holistic fight. Our lawmakers, this is about time that you see reason in letting go some of these immunities. Yeah. You get gasoline for your generator. You get gasoline for your cars. You got all these small immunities aside from your salaries. Let go some of these immunity, and the fundings that are directed to those immunities be placed towards the fight of this menace we have in our country. We cannot say, yes, we are fighting drug, and at the end of the day, the men and women who stands in defense, who engage the criminals, who engage the peddlers, when they go out to duty, they are worried. Their minds are all disturbed. What the children will eat, what the family will have for the next day. You cannot have a person who is thinking in that direction to adequately perform his or her task. So it is on you. If we all are sincere in this fight against drug, we must be engaging, and we must begin with the sharing of the responsibility. If you are taking 28 gallons of fuel, that's for the best practice now, but it is more than that. For your generator, take 10 and give the rest. Let that fund be diverted or directed to the fight against drug. It can be directed to the improvement of the salaries of those men and women who are in the field. Then we are serious. We cannot have these people who are underpaid and expect them to adequately perform. Where will that happen? So it's just going to be a charade. Yes, you have provided. We must firstly appreciate the vehicles. Oh yes, it's very important. Logistically, they need it. But what is more important is their salaries to be improved. I may mention the last time about the human resource capacity there at the LDA. There should be a serious or rigorous training exercise for those agents. It will interest you to know. Just the other day, we saw published on the internet, and other media institutions are reporting that members of the team of agents are also engaging in the sale of substances. So that's why, and these are things that showcase or validates the speculation people do have about the LDA confiscating drug, and quote unquote, when it is time that they call, to go and burn these things, people say, oh, they didn't burn that thing, that they're power and thing and they put together. These are actions that tend to verify the people's claim. While it is true that you sign up to serve your country, but it's also important that the hierarchy see reason to create a livelihood for you who have signed up for such a job. We cannot have our brothers and sisters putting their lives at the front line in confiscating drugs and other bad substances. And at the end of the day, when they are going home, they have to hide themselves, go home late so that children cannot see them and request. We are looking towards the day where our officers in this country will be going home with smiles on their faces. I'm not talking about senior officers alone, because senior officers, more like in our country, are the ones who are benefiting more, and the junior officers are the ones doing the work. We are talking about the low man, the lowest. If the little man there is happy, when he going home, he wear that smile and wanting to have an interaction with his family, then we know that indeed the seniors are also happy. I cannot be there pressuring my employees, oh Lord, you need to work, you need to do this one. And at the end of the day, they cannot have something to take home. But then, yet and still, I'm getting all of the immunity they are not getting, but I'm enforcing that they do what is meant to be done. Who does that? So it's about time we join this thing holistically from every angle. Some of these immunities, a lot of you, the BB people guy in this country, you need to put some of these things away and divert those funds for a water cause. See what happened in Ghana. Cut down some of the immunities. They are of no importance. The meat of the issue, we are not spending money on them. That's why you see people have gone the way they are already into. It's all because the way in which our politicians, the way in which our people in higher ups create the environment for the ordinary people. You are talking about security, adequate security. The men and women in arms on a daily basis, night, morning, sunshine, rainfall, they are out there in line of duty. But when it comes to their benefits, it's another ball game. And this brings us to the point where we condemn seriously the incident that took place a few days ago that led to the death of Officer Briswell. We want to say in this manner our deepest condolences, and we wish the family, as you go through this time of mourning, we pray that God console you. We pray that God console you in the time of bereavement. We want to say to the authorities of all of the security apparatus in this country. We appreciate your efforts. We appreciate your engagements, but yet still there are more to be done when it comes to the security and welfare of our officers, the men and women in the uniform. We have come to realize that our officers' safety, quote unquote, is not prioritized as it should. The safety of our officers, the men and women in uniform, actually not prioritized as it should. So they have become vulnerable to the men and women who are not in uniform. Why? It was so painful, it was so emotional on yesterday to have seen officers, especially seeing those females, crying out loud that our safety is not a crime, that we are wearing uniform, that we will be maltreated by the citizens who we stand in defense for. When I saw that on yesterday, it broke me down. People just talk to our officers anyhow. Somebody get angry, he just jumped on officer, and and at the end of the day, it's another investigation. There are lots of our officers who are still going through trauma from issues that they got confronted with. Some of them got injured. And that adequate support is not given them. The welfare of the officers, there are a series of them. On a daily basis, they call us, oh, please, I beg you, please flag this thing and let the authority get to know what I'm going through. A lot of them have been abandoned. So we want to say to the seniors, it is not about you only. The pride and dignity that comes back to you is based on the performances of the little man who's out there in the field. If they are not performing well, the praises will not come to you. If these men and women in the uniform are not performing well out there, the praises and glory will not be thrown at you. So this brings us to the point to say, let us do all we can to put smiles on the faces of these men and women in uniform. Let us do all we can to create a safe zone for them so that they feel proud and say, yes, indeed, I'm so happy serving my country. There is a security in the line of my duty. We want to say to our legislators, let me begin with the RG and all of those heads of security apparatus in this country. There must be an act that should be brought into law that will put security at the very safe end. Violence against security is just as normal now in this country. And nothing more is done about that. Nothing more is done about that. So how encouraging would that be for somebody who wants to serve the country to get engaged with the force? You cannot, It is best. Let's be real here. Some of you, you have traveled to these Western countries. Some of you have had the experiences that you have served in these countries, security sector. You know, the security sector get attractive based on the amenities and the security provided for the men and women who will pledge their commitment to serve their country. You think why the kids, young boys and girls are engaging, even some of our friends who were here and had the opportunity to travel, they are engaging into the security sector of these countries. Because there are lots of immunity there are lots of benefits. So they feel proud in putting their lives on the line to safeguard the country and its citizens. But in Liberia, it's another ball game, where you will have a lawmaker, a one who should be enacting law and representing the people adequately, will be there raining insults at officers, or because you are a lawmaker. Then what kind of law are you making? When you are caught in the act of violation and you are pulled over, you as a lawmaker abide by the law that you are making. If for any reason this officer contradicts what is on the book, he has his punishment, or she has a punishment to face. But not in the public glare, where you have somebody who is regarded as a lawmaker will be displaying in a very rude manner to officers. When some of their friends or their colleagues violate the laws of the land, they place phone call to you. My man, I'm interested. Let that person go. With the little security knowledge we have, assignment is greater than rank. In the first place, you must make that person to understand that he or she was in violation, and for any reason, he or she must go through the penalty. He or she must know that they were wrong, and it is by discretion that the officer in charge will allow you go, and not because you place a call to his boss or her boss, immediately they should allow you go. No. It is by discretion that the person say, okay, man say I'm a human. We do err. But this is the exchange that we, let us be civil and let us do this thing in an engaging manner that both of us will be satisfied one way or the other. But in our country, as soon as somebody violates, he or she places a call to the higher ups. The next thing, you are damning and shaming the officer, putting the officer at harm's way. So these are things that are happening over the period of time, and the citizens who are not in uniform now have gotten so brave enough to even jack up officers that are wearing the symbols and flags of the republic, all based on your actions. Oh, I'm a lawmaker. Oh, you know me. You gotta leave my how to call it? Leave my daughter. Leave my wife. Leave my girlfriend. Leave my this one. Putting the officers at harm's way. You giving that person the urge to say, okay, anything I go to do, I will just call a boss. He will know what to do to him. And at the end of the day, certainly, the person willingly violated. But because you, as a boss, will place a call to get directive that person release the violator, is an affront. You have placed that person at harm's way. We've come this morning to plead on the behalf of the men and women in uniform. They are also fathers and mothers. It is not a crime that they have committed themselves to stand in the line of duty to save the state. It is not a crime that they pledge their loyalty and commitment to serve as security. It is not a crime to serve their country. They need security as well. There must be a law enacted for the safety of the security. Just as we have a non-bailable offense law for drugs and other things, if you dare touch or get in a fist fight with an officer, come on. The law must take a course. We will see people respecting officers. We'll see people respecting the men and women in uniform. Take for instance, man, the person is a human. He or she do have feeling. You assaulting them in a form and manner, you think what the man will do? He will retaliate. Dare you try that with an officer of the U.S. Army? Least to say the police. Before you even dare try that, you will be talking that you and the bullet will be talking. That's why you see people have the high regard for the officers of these countries because there are stronger laws that protects them. Where are the laws that protects our officers, the men and women in uniform? If they do not protect themselves, there's no law that protects them. So it makes them vulnerable that anybody can just come from anywhere and harm them. In your mind, you think, quote unquote, that driver, knowing the law that protects officer, would have gone the way he went? He would never. Things do happen for some precedent to be set. Why it is true that we lost the young and energetic officer, this should serve as the beginning to create a safe space for our officers. The freedom that we now enjoy, there were people who fight with their flesh and blood. Some of them, they are alive. Most of them, they are dead and gone. There must be people who must set the records for others to go in line. So the death of Officer Burswell should serve as the beginning of the beginnings to create a safe space for men and women in uniform. This should serve as a beginning to create a safe place for the men and women in uniform. We're going to have people now. The AFL is about to be about to recruit. How many Liberians will really be willing to get engaged with that process? The first thing, what will come to the man's mind? What are the benefits? What's the protection? When I'm successful in wearing the uniform, how protected will I be? There are a lot of people who have interest in the security sector, but the fear here is, how protected would they be? What's the immunity would they have? If they do not go out there harassing drivers for little or nothing, just to have food on the table of their family. If these men and women in uniform were well paid, you won't have them engaging into unorthodox behavior like they are nowadays. So we want to say to the authority, and beginning with the higher ups, our lawmakers, this is about time that you relinquish some of these unnecessary benefits. I call it unnecessary because how can a man, you are already, this person sits in Montserrat. Let's face the reality with our friends, our people right in Montserrat. This person sits just 10 minutes away from the office or the capital where they go to work. He's been given booklets of gasoline slips. Then you also buying gasoline or fuel for his generator. You paying his nurses, you paying this one, you're doing this one, you're giving him $45,000 for 3 years. After 3 years, you getting another $45,000 to buy a car. All of these monies can be diverted into a positive see the health sector. How much these doctors and nurses are making. If they do not engage into unorthodox behaviors, they won't have food on the table of their families. If they don't take drugs that are meant for the patients at the hospital to carry and open their own drugstores, they won't have food on their table. Is this the kind of thing you want to see? It's all about you. What about the people who are at the front line? Our teachers. What is our engagement with these people? The livelihood of these people? Before you became a lawmaker, you passed through the wards of these schools around here to obtain the degree or whatever certificate or document that you have. What are you doing to better the lives of these educators? What are you doing to better the lives of these health workers? What are you doing to better the lives of these security officers? They are underrated. They are underpaid. But you take pride. When you feel sick, you get on board a plane and go to Ghana, you go to India, go to the other country, go to that other country. Go to the other country, go to the other country. So what comes to mind here is, how do you feel? Or what really comes to your mind? These countries that you run to the health sector, how it got to be what it is. Do you sometimes think about it? Do you? Sometimes I tend to wonder, why will you be so heartless? You have the opportunity to transform, but you sit reluctantly. It's all about you. But you fail to realize the people you left while you were climbing up will be the same people that you will meet down while you are on your way down. I say this to say, the health sector, that you have the power, you have the means of transforming for the better. You are not engaging in transforming the health sector. When you relinquish power, that flight, you will no longer have the money to cut plane ticket to go and see medical attention in the Ghana, in the India, in the US. You have to go to the same JFK. You have to go to the same Redemption, the same Jassy Fiado, And you just name all of the health institutions around here. Why can't you invest? The Ghana you see here, you run into. When you're here, you want to get the actual diagnostic. You think how to go to machines? You think how the doctors that you run to go and see medical attention? You see how you think how they got there? It was based on the investment of the people of that country through their leadership. Think outside of the box. Better the health sector, the educational sector, the security sector. These are major components of the government. These are major components of a country. When you have these three thematic areas up and running, the citizens will live happily. That's what I always say. When the minds are developed, the eyes will appreciate the works of the hand. We begin with our minds. We can come with all of the infrastructure. When the minds are not developed, they will never appreciate the works of those hands. We need to engage the minds. Invest into the educational sector. The training of teachers. Invest into the security sector. Invest in the medical area. We need more doctors. We need more nurses. That's why my late professor used to say, ill-prepared teachers preparing ill-prepared students for future use. Women are dying of infant mortality. The infant mortality rate, because we still have people who are not prepared into the sector. We learned that the doctor was found guilty and was sentenced for life imprisonment. Should we be going through all those things when we have well-trained doctors and nurses? That life, or those lives that were taken away by him, by his bad practices, wouldn't have. It would have been preserved. But because the system is rotting, so people infiltrate the system to carry on unorthodox behaviors, or because of their personal gains. The system must be fixed. And how do we fix the system? By sincerity and commitment. It's not about our personal gains. You are placed at leadership to lead, to be an example. How many of our leaders now, they only think about themselves? But if you just join us, this is the Positive Show right here on Love FM 105.1. We are talking about some important issues here, looking at the various sectors, but specifically the safety of our men and women in uniform is paramount this morning. So if you have input to make this morning, the lines are open. 0887-105-105, 0778-665-073 are numbers to call this morning and form part of the discourse right here on Love FM 105.1. 0887-105-105, 0778-665-073 are numbers to call. We need the safety of our security. The officers are at risk. What's the insurance? Insurance benefit? I beg you. Yeah. When this man, while in the line of duty, gets injured, who look after him? What are the benefits? What are the benefits he or she gets? Why in the line of duty and gets injured? Now we have this officer in the line of duty, he got killed. Is it all going to be about all of the flyer designs and, yes, people go, yeah, this one. At the end of the day, what does families tend to benefit? Let's get to the line and talk to this person. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you? What's your name and you join us from where?
My name is Aaron Chia. I'm calling from Johnson, specifically around Uptown.
Let's hear you.
Okay, thank you so much for the show. I'm very, very listening to the show, and I'm really learning some things from you. It's very significant and impactful to our nation, of which the security operator and other listening to learn from this. More especially the security need to carry on behavior that will bring pride to the nation. And since, and that's the habit, is identify the man by his badge and keep it compliance. The period is set. I think this is necessary for the good of our country. And again, so when we talked about the hospital issue, with improving or upgrading the hospital in Liberia, these are kind of things that I think is putting the government need to show up on the risk of our this thing. They need to upgrade this thing, not because they had money and free the other country for treatment in the massive state and there. Our population are lacking and more people are not learning the way they should learn to help others to be very good way. So people pass because of whatever. They don't let them come back. I hope the show is listening and go to listening. That will be able to help the nation for proof, for benefit. So I think that much for the show.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thanks so much for your participation as well.
Okay.
0778 665 073 0887 105 105. Our numbers to call this morning. Let me say good morning to you, Richard Dubber. You just joined us. We appreciate your following this morning. Yes, that's the reality. Come on, man. The Ghana we run into, it's not here because you're official. You run there. How you think the health sector got to where it is? Did you know that Ghana, the Ghanaians ran here to acquire knowledge and they talk about the knowledge to their country and they use that knowledge to better the country to what it is today? It did not happen overnight. We talk about patriotism, nationalism. Why we call on people to be patriots? What is the enabling environment created for the ordinary people to exhibit that sense of patriotism and nationalism? Should we just get ourselves engaged only about me, myself, and I, because I'm at the helm of power? So everything that has to do with the livelihood and those benefits, it should also only be me. What about the people who elected you? You getting all of the benefits? You got all of those amenities in Ghana? You if you don't know, the president have reduced the amenities of his government officials. And monies that were directed in that line have been placed to other important areas. You get somebody, you pay him, let's say 7,000 at the end of the month. But his amenities is even equivalent or more than the 7,000 you pay him. So it's quadruple. That man can survive in that 7,000. In that 7,000, he can have his fuel money, he can have his rental fee, and all those things from that 7,000. That put it at that. You are giving him gasoline slips, booklets. You paying his office staffs. You paying the cook to a hub. You paying rental fee. Most of the man living in his own house, and you get rental fee. You paying for it. You paying the man door. You paying a generator, while the citizens are. Well, it is so serious, bro. It's so serious. So we want to use this medium now. President Boakai, we say thank you for the work you are doing. Amidst the challenges, there are prospects and gains. And in so doing, there's yet more to be done. Some of the initiatives of our lawmakers or the government officials need to be caught and the money diverted to other positive things. We can use some of the monies to revamp the government health institutions or the health institutions in this country, so that our mothers and our sisters shouldn't be dying of infant mortality. People are dying from curable diseases. It shouldn't be so. When we have a very robust health sector where we have trained doctors and nurses, it will minimize some of these issues that are happening within the health sector. But look around us today. We saw in this country, it's no affront. People who led this country, they had the opportunity to transform the health sector, for which they did not. At the end of the day, when they took sick, where some of them were, they were taken to the scene JFK. The JFK where they had the means of transforming, they did not. And at the end of the day, when power was no longer in their reach, the abandoned JFK became the safe haven for them. I sometimes wonder if our leaders are far-sighted, if our leaders are thinking outside of the box. The fallen Ghanaian president, before his death, I can still recall in 2019 when he was flown to France for further medical attention. I thought he said, no, it's better that I get back home. I'm just a single being. What happens to the thousands, the millions of Ghanaians who do not have the opportunity like I have to be flown out of Ghana to seek medical attention, fly me back to Ghana? When I'm in Ghana, the money that you will take to spend on me, that money can be circulated in our economy and will better the health system of our country. That's how he was flown from France back to Ghana. And eventually, he died. When will be the day that our lawmakers will say, go are the days where we took plane to fly to India just to check that if our hair hurting, why hurting our hair, or my leg hurting, why hurting my leg, when that can be done right in Liberia? When will be that day that our government officials will say the money you will take to go spend in Nigeria, the money you will take to go spend in Ghana, Kolebu Hospital, the teaching hospital, let us divert that money to revamp the health sector in this country. Send our young brothers and sisters to go and learn and return to the country. to better the health system. That the day I'm no longer in power, I can proudly say I can remain right in my country here and my medical attention will be very adequate. That when my head hurts and I go to JFK, I go to Redemption, there will be a diagnostic test and the proper results will be out. That I can be treated right in my country. What will be that day? It's on you. It's on you, the leaders, to make that decision. How do you feel that the children, the people who we refer to as future leaders, do not have an enabling environment to acquire knowledge? How do you feel as a lawmaker? How do you feel that a child in your county cannot get adequate health delivery service? How do you feel? But you feel taking $45,000, $90,000 just for car. How do you feel? When the security officers who stand under the rain and the sun cannot even feed their families from the salaries they take home. How do you feel? How do you feel? You call yourself official. That the students will come out with placards calling on you to pay their teachers so that they acquire knowledge. How do you feel? Is this the Liberia we want? How do you feel? Your children are in other people's nation acquiring knowledge adequately. But the people who elected you, the children cannot get the fitting education. How do you feel? How do you feel when you are once down the line, toting water on your head from one corner to the other? Now that the people saw how committed you were and elected you into state power, and now you say, oh, look, let me send my children to go and learn in the Queen's College. Why the G.W. Gibson, the Tubman High, and all of those schools still lack adequate supplies and instructional materials and professional teachers. How do you feel? Is this the Liberia you want? (087-105-105-0778) 665-073 are the numbers to call. And I said to you, even you in the opposition, it is about time. You don't have to take state power before you do the right thing. You have the means of transforming lives. Go ahead and do it. It's an added advantage for you to win the minds of the people to you. You don't have to take state power before you do the right thing for the people that you want to lead. How do you feel? When you have the ability, you have the means to transform the lives of the young people, but you tell them, let's go and demonstrate. I will give you $20. How far will that $20 carry that person? And he or she putting his life or her line, putting the lives on the line just for your political gains. How do you feel? When you have your children abroad acquiring knowledge in other people's country, but you get people, children standing in the sun to chant battle cry behind you so that you get state power. How do you feel? This is about time we think outside of the box. It's about time we think outside of the box and put on that garment of patriotism and nationalism. How do you feel as a journalist when you propagate message that will cause division, and at the end of the day, you have handouts given you and you feel proud? How do you feel? Is this the Liberia you want? 0887-105-105, 0778-665-073 are the numbers to call. While we await your call, let's get our final commercial commitment to be right back. This is The Positive Show. My name is Rufus Divine Cannon. I'm pretty seated, awaiting your calls. Our commercial commitment is next.
MTN mobile money now do again for the first time in Liberia. You can send money from your phone straight to Africa Coast, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Guinea, Uganda, Rwanda, Mali, and Senegal. No more stressing on how you will send your children's school fees to Rwanda or your market money to Guinea or even order your goods from Ghana. Momo is now across borders, so just dial *156*1#, select international transfers and follow the instructions.
Send money instantly and conveniently across Africa right from the phone. Dial *156*1# and select international transfer to cross borders with Momo. Outbound remittance powered by BNB, a Lone Star Cell MTN mobile money.
MTN.
Are you looking for fast, reliable internet for your home, small business, or office? Look no further. Get the MTN 4G router from any MTN service center today for just $49 Cat 4 router and $89 Cat 6 router, and enjoy connectivity and convenience like never before. No stress, just connectivity and convenience. You can activate your router yourself at any time using MTN Momo or airtime. Just dial *355# and enjoy bundles starting as low as $9.
Rush now and get your 4G internet router. Call 5656 for more information. Enjoy affordable, fast, and reliable internet with Lone Star Cell MTN. Business done better.
MTN.
Yellow Star. I said Liberia, wake up. The big moment is here. MTN Yellow Star now show face. For years, you have dreamed of shining in the spotlight. The time now come to make that sweet dream real. I say this season will take you from dreamers to doers. Online audition is open until September 19. You can submit your audition from anywhere because your dream deserves to be heard loud and clear. And like at the beginning, we are coming live to your county. Buchanan, September 20 at City Hall Ground, 8 a.m. Nimba, September 22nd at Jackie's Guest House, 8 a.m. Don't count the tap in. We are all one people. In Monserrato, October 4th at the Liberia Learning Center, Painesville Town Hall, 8 a.m. 20 contestants will take the bold step and forget dreaming and start doing. Through vocal training, master classes, studio sessions, and electrifying live shows. One winner will walk away with big hell about $2 million Liberian record due, a brand new car, 300,000 LD for your wardrobe to get fresh again, and 100 gigabyte data every month for 1 year. Amazing present bucket waste for our second and third place winners. MTN Yellow Star Season 5, from dreamers to doers.
Yellow Star. Yellow Star.
Mozorado, your son, yeah. MTN Yellow Star Season 5 calling you. October 4th at the Liberian Learning Center, Congo Town, sharp 8 a.m. You long been dreaming about seeing yourself on a big stage. Nana at the time to do it. From dreamers to doers. Like, yeah, they can make all the big stars in here. One lucky winner will get $2 million Liberian record due. One brand new car, 300,000 Liberian. Check for you to buy fresh swag name and 100 gigs data every every month for 1 year. MTN also say they will give great prizes to the second and the third winner. Me I say me check and put your own.
Yellow Star.
MTN.
King Original. And then they see me, they wonder. Momo now we say king. They all I want your mole cheese. And then payment you made using your Momo, my dad, you just for the win. You will get points. When your meaning on the dality and I'm rain. So go tell all your friends. Tell them. I eat Momo we stand. Tell them. Momo carry 2 person to Dubai. Why you waiting for to use a mobile? To go Dubai, you pay no fever. Everything on the trip by a free bar. Momo carry 2 person to Dubai. Why you waiting for to use a mobile? To go Dubai, you pay no fever. Everything on the trip by a free bar. Momo we say what's a 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 they now we say I say Momo now we say what's a they now.
Your attention, please. Please do not smoke in the terminal.
Shake it, wake up.
No, Chua, man. People are going to Dubai to chill. You can't spoil a dream by.
Hey, Dubai? What thing carry you there? Payload or passport?
One day, I'll run Iron Boy, claim the world, tallest baby, and live left back.
You think sleep will carry you Dubai? Luck it for you, I bring good news. Momo Wese WhatsApp 5 is back, and this year is to buy edition. Just dial *156# and do any Momo transaction, send money, buy data, pay bills, and stand a chance to win an all-expense paid trip to Dubai.
4 package?
Yes, sir. Flight, pocket change, jolly, all cover. 12 people going. Every transaction earns you points. More points, more chances.
My Dubai dream is loading Uber. I will just more everything right now.
Dream big with Momo Wese Wasa. Dubai edition, baby. Recharge, pay, or send with Momo and stand a chance to win amazing prizes every week. In an all-expense paid trip to Dubai as the grand prize. Dial *156# now to transact and win. But listen, terms and conditions apply. Dubai, Ijamako Cameo.
MTN.
Well, after the commercial commitment, we are back with just barely 4 to 5 minutes to go. Wherever you are, we encourage that you form part of the discourse this morning. This is the Positive Show. We're looking deeply into our Liberian dream. We're looking deeply into what we can do for our country. And we started on talking about our men and women in uniform. How can they be protected? In as much as they are providing security for us, they also need protection. And the abuse against our men and women in uniform is escalating, and there's a need that we enact a law that will safeguard these men and women in uniform. Because if we continue to just leave them vulnerable, who knows? The next victim may be that family members of yours. Who knows? So it's about time that our lawmakers enact a law that will safeguard the men and women in uniform and put them at a safe end. We also talk about the issue that has to do with each and every one of us as citizens contributing adequately to the nation's building process. You don't have to necessarily get into power before you make an impact in the society. Yes, especially you in the opposition. You don't have to take state power before you become or you begin to do something positive for the people. You can engage in positive ventures. You can engage in positive ventures and transform the lives of the people that you want to lead. So wherever you are, well, this is how I love to call it a day on today's edition of the Positive Show. I will encourage all of us in your respective areas of profession. Let us be very, 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 very cautious enough that nobody can transform this country for us, only ourselves. That's what I say in Union Strong Success is show. We've got above our rights to prove we over or prevail. With hearts and hands, our country cause defending. We meet the foe with valor unpretending. Mahatma Gandhi said in a quote, the difference between what we do and what we are capable of doing will surface to solve most of the world's problems, unquote. Two things in this life you always be remembered for: the problems you create and the problems you solve. And you must take responsibility for two things in your life: your fortune and that of your misfortune. My name is Rufus Divine Cannon. I lead and not a follow. First among equals. Of course, I'm destined for greatness. I'll talk to you, God willing, next week. Better still, join Vining Duclay this afternoon at 2 for the afternoon conversation. Tomorrow, Fan Fumba and John Kessler will be here on the Positive Show. Do have yourselves a wonderful and God bless day. Bye-bye.